And so now what I'll do is just talk about what's going to happen, what's kind of going on right now. A few things. I won't touch on things too deeply, but one thing to note is that over here, where the ascendant is, Pluto, you can see this greener planet on the outside. That's where Pluto is now. And so Pluto back around, I want to say 2003, 2004, that's when it crossed her ascendant. And it sort of started a new theme in her life. So when Pluto crossed her ascendant around 2003, 2004, there's a new sense of coming into power, recognizing her own power, wielding her own power in some way. So if there was, a period of time of not feeling very powerful, since for the last 5 or 6 years, there's been a sense of taking control of her own life. Now, also what's been going on is this. I want to talk about this specifically, this triangle that we talked about, and how that's actually going to be getting hit pretty. It's kind of highlighted right now as we speak. Mars up here. You can see Mars up there, that green planet. It's in Leo. It just started to retrograde, or in other words, move backwards. So it's starting to move back down, where the planets typically move in this direction. It's about to move back down, all the way down to about the beginning of Leo, and then you make its way back again. And so from now until early March, there's going to be a backwards motion of Mars. And so Mars retrograde is not a time to go forward with new actions, new paths. Okay? And so she started confused about her path a lot of times with Neptune in the 10th house. But this is just saying, hold it back. Get your arrow and aim it and pull back the bow as far as you want to pull it, but don't let go yet. Don't let go until the spring. That's for everyone. But for her, specifically in the 8th house realm, that's the realm of shared resources. So things like, for example, having a Mars retrograde in your 8th house could easily deal with, it could have something to do with a death in the family, where there's something that has to occur with inheritance. So this would have started back in October of 2009, and it would be continuing into the spring of 2010. And so that's just one example. I'm talking about the death in the family. 8th house rules things like death and transformations. But also, with all this energy in her 8th house in general, there's a tendency for her not only to try to resist psychological transformations, but to, when they happen, because they will happen often with this kind of a chart, that they can be explosive. And this could be one of those times of going through a deep psychological change. Could also be a time of trying to get financing or funding, say, to buy a house, a new house, or a car, or something. It could be some issues this time period of dealing with trying to figure out when that money is going to come in, how am I going to get supported for what I want to do next, etc. So she could really be thinking about new directions in life and trying to figure out how she's going to be supported, financially. How is it logistically going to work out? And so this period of time is telling her to just wait it out a little bit. Don't get too hung up on trying to move forward yet, because it's going to take a little while. It's going to take until the spring to figure some stuff out, iron some stuff out. And so that would be my advice, just to kind of hold back a little bit and understand where you want to go, figure out where you want to go, figure out what's next for you, but don't head in that direction until about this point. And so if there is some kind of waiting on hearing about money or inheritance of some kind, or something that's going to sit under you and help you in terms of other resources as far as that goes, it's not something that's going to come through right away. And that's all. She has Mars and Saturn in the 11th house natally, and having Mars and Saturn kind of right next to each other in a conjunction in any house is going to be kind of like approaching life or driving with the parking brake on. Mars is about go, go, go. Saturn is about hold back, let's wait. And so this Mars retrograde period for her is just an accentuation of what she already probably feels in her life anyway, is that she always wants to go in a new direction. Very ambitious energy, very, I want to go now. But always a sense also of being held back, holding herself back psychologically. And it takes a lot of psychological breakthroughs for her to actually start moving forward. So this time period may be about uncovering, just going deep, uncovering some psychological blocks that have prevented her from moving forward in the first place. And if she really does work on that kind of thing over the next few months, then she's going to be ready when the spring comes to actually move forward with something new. And, whatever that is, my advice would be something related to, a service-oriented kind of field in some way, but that, is up to her. When it comes to what's coming up also beyond that point, in terms of career, etc., we have Saturn up on top here, which is just about to cross the midheaven, or into the career house, the 10th house. And that will happen from the fall of 2010 through the spring, early summer of 2011. And so what that's going to suggest is, whatever direction she's starting to consolidate now, by the time next fall comes into play, it'll be time to solidify and make realistic whatever these new paths are. So right now is really a building phase, especially the next few months is more of a brainstorming and an aiming and a researching kind of a phase. Then once the spring to summer hits, it's time to move forward with whatever new ideas hit. Then by the fall, make something tangible and realistic regarding that. Okay? And one of the things that will be very tempting in the very near term is Jupiter, which you can see it right about there. Kind of hard to see there. Jupiter is right here, and it is in her second house of earned income. So this recent period since late last year, late 2008, has really brought opportunities, expansion of opportunities in terms of earned money, or seeing potential in new ways to earn money that are more ideal to her. And as Jupiter keeps moving forward, it will, in early to mid-January 2010, so in just a few weeks from now, it's December 20th right now as we speak, so talking more like January 7th through the 20th, that general time frame, that Jupiter, what's going to happen is it's going to make some pretty hard aspects to, not only it's going to be down here, and it's going to be opposing this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, which is a very ambitious energy within her chart. Very, very ambitious. And it's also in the 8th house of, again, support, earned, income from others, resources from others to support you. It'll also be squaring this Saturn-Mars conjunction. So that Saturn-Mars conjunction that squares her Jupiter-Pluto, from here to here, natally, will get charged up by Jupiter in January. And so there's going to be a lot of feelings of, let's do it now, let's do it now, let's do it now. Jupiter just doesn't want to wait. Jupiter energy, especially with her ruling planet is Jupiter. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. That's what her ascendant is at Sagittarius. So for her specifically, this becomes difficult to hold back because she has a lot of energy and a lot of energy to go forward. So I would suggest when you feel this energy in early to mid-January, when that comes on, to just take it for what it is. And any new information that comes to you, catalog, take note of things, organize things. Use that Virgo moon, that need to organize something, put things together. Then once March, April time frame comes around, that's the time to move forward, like I said before. And then come the fall, that's when it's time to get serious and make something happen and really restructure who you are, restructure how you come across to the world. That is the key in this case. Okay, and so with that, what I'll do is just wrap it up here. So that's been another installment of On the Spot with My Astro Chris. And so I'm Chris Taylor, your astrologer, signing off. And so any questions or comments are welcome. You can either comment on the blog at myastrochrist.blogspot.com underneath the blog itself. You can contact me directly through myastrochrist.com, one or the other. And so anyone else interested in an opportunity like this, be sure to let me know. So with that, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great time.